You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. Looking for change, looking for pain, pulling a mob, pushing a train. I'll never stop, stick to a lane, pick up the pieces and go rearrange. I'll be the best above all the rest, put me to the test and expect nothing less, your check is I'm chess, what's happening next, yeah. He got the venom, a tangible weapon, no coming in second. This life is a lesson, he got a new engine from pain, it's a blessing. New focus, no guessing, just bold an obsession. All in his possession, you got their attention. I'll leave an impression and take your redemption. Just kill no discretion, your mind is a weapon. 11-11, it's time for progression, You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. People like sheep move feet, hurt it easy. You don't wanna be fast asleep when they scheming. Better stand tall, ready for a fight, believe me. When they try the chains, you can say no, free me. So he's been looking for somebody who could save him, instead of searching inside for what they gave him. A strong will, strong mind causes mayhem. We could change the world, change times, rearrange them. Staying on pace, running the race. Life is a chase, I don't want a place. I wanna be first, work till it hurts. Dehydrated thirst till I'm in a hearse. High ambitions in the right mind can take you so far. It's like you lived a few lifetimes. Take off from a break off from the weak minds. They can stay soft. You can change lives, you create thoughts, never waste time. You got one shot, you got one life. Better pop off. What do you like? Make a dream job. No 9-5, no mean boss. Just my life and free thoughts. You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. People like sheep move feet, hurt it easy. You don't wanna be fast asleep on this scheming. Better stand tall, ready for a fight, believe me. When they try the chains, you can say no, free me.
Hey, hello everyone. Well, welcome Dave. Welcome.
Hi.
Yeah,
No, thank you. It's an honor to be invited on.
Oh, an honor. Ooh, I don't know if you're going to say that. You do know where you are, right? This is the asshole show. Like, we're going to be
That's why I'm here.
Okay, good. Because hey, as long as we're going to be one, as long as we own it, it's cool, right?
That's the one.
Makes it acceptable because the worst thing is people out there doing it like everywhere. They don't own it. Like that's the headache, But this should definitely be fun. Welcome. Go ahead.
If you don't own it, there's no humor in it. So
there's not. It's absolutely not humorous at all. Those people that take themselves too seriously, I tell you. You got some fans. You got some fans here already. This is good. Welcome everybody. I see you all here. Well, hey, Granny and Robski and Always Createful Student. Nice to see you. You back. I'm hoping you have a good time. Yeah. And there's Autistic Shield. There's Icarus. Yeah. There you go. And Kyle. Hey, Kyle, how you doing? All right. Oh, Charlie, you're just here for the harassment? Oh, you're not here for the harassment. That's okay. You won't get harassed here, Charlie. It's okay. Don't be too disappointed. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good one. How is the sound, guys, before we get started reading? Are we well balanced? Would you like to tell them about your channel? Which is one of my favorites, but I don't want them to think I'm like bragging on you too much.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm one of the members of the Answers and Reason crew. We mostly do philosophy on our channel, some science stuff, some psychology stuff with Luke. We tend to talk about all sorts of topics from morality to skepticism to epistemology, and sometimes we just have a laugh.
Yeah, it is. It's jolly good fun there. A lot. Big topics put together very well in a conversational style that just makes it very pleasant. For a novice like myself who's just starting out with an interest in philosophy, it makes it very entertaining. And, well, you guys know I love you, but and they're starting to know too, because I'm not shy. Like when I like something, I put it everywhere and I tell everybody about it. So there you go. So what do you say? You want to read some stuff about some assholes? I got a few for you. You ready to weigh in?
Okay.
And
Yeah.
I hope you are. Hey, Turtle Moves, welcome. All right, let me see what I can pull up here for you. Okay. I'll go over the voting steps again, everyone, at the end. You know, most of you know these, but for those that are new, we will go over it again. So let's start with the first one for Dave and for everybody in the chat. Am I the asshole for surprising my girlfriend at work on our anniversary? I will let you know, impressive to this one, is that this got deleted quickly because it got so hot and there were so many responses they couldn't keep up with clearing them. It wasn't that the responses were rude. It's just the amount of responses. They ended up deleting this one.
Bloody hell.
Within a few hours. And it's very benign, but I think you'll see where we go with it. My girlfriend and I have been together for 5 years as of this past Friday. She bartends at a place nearby the apartment we live in. She tried to get Friday off for our anniversary, but she couldn't. I didn't want to just spend the actual night of our anniversary alone, so I thought it would be a romantic idea to surprise her at work, something I've never done. I go to the bar, and it's pretty full, but I was able to nab a seat by her. She sees me and immediately asks what the hell I'm doing there. I tried to explain that at least this way we can kind of be with each other. And she told me I wasn't going to just be allowed to sit there, which was never my intent. I ordered a drink and she rolled her eyes, and I tried to think of something, anything, that could get her out of this sour mood she had towards me. So I told her she looked really pretty. This caught some people sitting around me off guard. And she goes, "He's my boyfriend. Sorry about him. He's being really annoying." That comment really hurt. I didn't know what else to do. So I ordered another drink and she gave it to me and told me I was done and needed to go home, which I did, after paying, of course. Saturday morning, I just explained that I wasn't trying to be in the way or be a handful. I was just trying to do something kind of cute. She said there was nothing cute about it and that she felt distracted. Am I the asshole? Yeah, see?
Yeah. I'm not sure he was. Not an asshole. Maybe a pain in the ass more than an asshole.
True. If there was an ass involved, I don't think it was intended, actually. It actually seemed kind of sweet. They've been together 5 years, you know?
Yeah, that's it. I mean, like, she's working and stuff, and so she's going to be distracted by him, and he probably should have thought of that. Maybe just popped in to say hello and a happy anniversary and have a drink and then go. But I'm not sure I'd call him an asshole for doing that.
Yeah. There's so much, you hate to read anything into something because they don't actually lay it out. But there's a few things that they put in there that you can just pull out and extrapolate a little bit. Number one, they've been together for 5 years and he's never gone to her place of work. Ever.
Yeah.
Right. So that's a little strange there. Okay. 2, it's the kind of work that she does. She's a bartender. And if we're going to be real about it, and we're gonna, because my channel is what we do, she has to be quite friendly, quite flirty. She may even have to dress differently than she does at home or for the relationship, whatever. And if he's not been there in 5 years, there may be a reason between the two of them, that is so. Or either that he's uncomfortable with the way that she has to be or the way that the job intends, or I don't know. I'm not saying he is. I'm just saying, gosh, that seemed odd to me that he'd never been to her job in 5 years.
Yeah.
And she's been there, and it's a social job. Bartending is a social job that, I don't know if they have music there or other thing, but there'd be events and things like that. It's, but I can understand why he wouldn't, why they would make that agreement not to be there, because you have to smile and talk, and you have to what you have to watch, not your partner, but you have to watch everybody else in the bar garnering for your partner's attention, right?
Yeah.
Okay, like who doesn't try to talk to the bartender or the barman? Like, and I don't mean like, I'm going to get you kind of way. I just mean in a friendly, overt, they go right for them,
Yeah.
engage. And part of your job is to be very friendly. It's customer service. You got to make them feel in customer service. If you're doing your job, whatever it is, grocery store, grocery clerk, salesperson at the Gap, drugstore or bartender or waitress, your job in customer service is to talk to somebody like they're the only person in the room all the
Yeah.
time,
Yeah.
crowd or no crowd. That's when you know you're good at your job, right? And so I'm thinking that might have something to do with it. And I think it unnerved her. I think maybe she puts on a little while she's at work, and it's good for tips and it's good for her job and she's comfortable. But having him there and her reality of her relationship and her life right there, I think she got uncomfortable, but I don't know why. She seemed
It,
overt tense to him, you know.
yeah. I mean, it might also be her time away from him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, like when you're in the relationship, you're at home together all the time, mostly. So
Mm-hmm.
being at work is the time away from your partner, isn't it? And lets you just be yourself for a little while. And so it could
Mm-hmm.
have something to do with that as well. Like he's invaded her private space.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And she wasn't free, like she didn't have the freedom to just not worry about anything too. We
Yeah,
do know in bartending, flirting does get you better tips, right?
it
Thank
does.
you,
Yeah,
Robsky.
yeah,
I think Robsky just did, yep, bartending involves a bit of flirting. The tips are better that way. This is true. This is true.
and
Yeah.
she might know him to be kind of jealous, so she
Mm-hmm.
would have to behave slightly different if he was in the workplace.
Yeah. True, true. And yeah, but I wasn't too pleased with her comment to him. I think there was a better way actually to handle that.
Of
But
saying it, yeah,
yeah, but often that's the case with me. I'm all like, yeah, okay, here we go again. No, the communication stinks, and there's no compromise here. It's like this is just a failure. There's definitely going to be some arseholes here for sure, because they definitely are failing on both ends there. I think she
yeah.
could have made her point in a better way. She could have said, "You surprised me. This is awkward for me," and I think he would have got the message
That
without putting him down in front of all of those people. You know.
Yeah, that would have been a much better way to do it. Or just pull him to the bar and say, "Here's your drink. Would you
Mm-hmm.
mind leaving after this one, and I'll talk to you at home."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because
I
it
mean,
kind of, yeah, he felt terrible, like he really
he
did.
did.
Yeah. And I don't know why. Like, no, I don't know if I would have been apologizing the next morning to her the way he seemed to be just for showing up. I think I would have been like more, let's talk about what the problem is about me being at your job. Like,
Yeah,
let's talk about like me trying to do something nice and then you making it more than it was. Like, let's talk
yeah,
about that. Like, what's going on here? Like, I'm not spying on you. It was their anniversary. It's not, it's not like he's the boyfriend of 5 years sitting at the end of the bar watching everything she does while she works. It's not like that.
yeah. Didn't have that because, like you said, he'd never been to her work, so it's not like it was a "I'm keeping my eye on you" kind of thing,
Yeah, it's
which
not
would have
like.
been an asshole.
Yeah, and I know there's some people in the chat. I haven't seen it yet, or maybe because it went all. Yeah, here it is. I knew it. This is thank you, student, because this is what I'm thinking. I knew someone in the chat or someone was going to say, like in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, what are you hiding? Why did you attack him like that to keep him out of the picture like so quickly? Like this is it. Either she's uncomfortable with how she has to act, or she doesn't think he would accept the way she has to act, or there's something else going on. Like it just really automatically, and maybe I'm just reading too much into it, but there was something very sus about the interaction that she had to attack him that way right away. That's what I
Yeah,
saw when I read the AIT. That's what I saw, that line that she put in there. He's just being annoying. He's rather annoying. I'm like, wow.
yeah. That was, see, to me that was more the asshole move than him showing up.
Hmm. This is it. This is how we get to vote, because like he's writing he's writing this piece. So he's the original poster. He's the op. And that's when we're gonna we might as well just pull up the votes then, right? Because let's pull up I'm going to go over the voting once, but then we'll just pull up the slides. For those of you that are very familiar, well, you just read along with me, and those that are new. Number one would be the original poster. That would be, in this case, it would be the gentleman who went to the bar. Is he the asshole? Number two would be the other party. And in this case, that would be the girlfriend, who's the bartender, who was a little rude. Number three would be both of them, because there's only the two of them involved in this story. Number four is, of course, our catchphrase, yay porn, because who doesn't like a little excitement, especially in the middle of the week? It's a long way to the weekend. And number five is the Magic Mike Fund, and that's because Bear's never been to a strip club, and for some of my other content, some people think it's necessary that I do this, and well, that's what that's about. Number six is everyone is an asshole, and that would be everyone everywhere. Like, not even this op-ed, not all op-ed, like everywhere. Okay. 7 is open for suggestions. I just ask that you don't call out anybody individually, but you may write what you please for number 7. Let's just try not to make it personal against anybody who might be here or in the chat, because we don't do that. Okay. Number 8 is Chris is always the asshole. And if you don't know what I mean, if you know, you know that Chris, my mate Chris, is the perfect asshole. Chris over at Hereticals came and did my show, and he was exquisite in showing what assholeness is what. We started our own asshole kingdom on that day, and Chris would be the king of that. Okay, number 9 is no, just no, no, no. That's when you read it, you're shaking your head, you're scratching your head, you can't believe what you read. You just no, you just don't agree with anything that's going on there, and you can't even weigh in because it's like you read the words in English, but it's like it comes off like a foreign language. Like you just cannot believe what is happening there. That would be that one. 11 is Bear Needs a Laser. I'm not going to explain that. It's summer. Number 42 is Jay, Coffee Hating Asshole. If y'all remember my friend Jay from True Cereal, he used to have the Nevermore Tamer, and he was also co-owner of Hereticals, and also was a co-host of some of my legal drama. Jay hates coffee. Jay hates coffee. And Jay came and did an AITA and decided to announce to everyone in my chat and all of YouTube that we were all awful people because we like coffee. And it didn't go well. It did not go well at all. Most of my chat, even though some of them drink tea, they do not hate coffee. They also know that Bear does better on coffee. Nobody wants a grumpy bear. Nobody wants grumpy bear out here. They throw coffee at me regularly. That way. And it was just funny. He also hates pineapple pizza, but Dave, we're not going to talk about that. I know it's a touchy subject. We're not going to talk about it. I don't want to put you in that position, but Jay also, once he hated coffee, also decided to debate them on pineapple pizza in the same night. Can I say fiasco? Anyway, he earned a number on the chart by one of my mods who at the time was helping me gather the numbers. He earned a number in perpetuity. There you go. And that's it. The last one is 69. Y'all know. You can put 69 in there. I know people like to do that joking, but here on this channel, you're not allowed to do it without your phone number because otherwise you're just a tease or a contrarian. We don't play like that around here. All right. So if you're going to use it appropriately. All right. So on that, I'm going to ask you then, where do you sit with all of this, Dave?
I would sit with number 2, to be honest. Mm-hmm. I think that there's a bit of nuance to it. Number 1 might have been a bit of an ass, but I think number 2 is the actual asshole involved here. Mm-hmm. And I mean, there's also number 6 because everybody's human and pretty much every human is an asshole anyway.
Yeah, true.
Except me and the people who watch Answers and Reason and you.
Oh gosh, we're just going to have to call you an ass just for saying that. But no, I kind of agree that she is definitely coming off more with assholeness here. If he's an ass, it's unintentional. He was like the awful one. He's like the one that didn't read the room. He walked in there and he didn't get it. He didn't see what was going on. He had a good idea, and then it just didn't go the well. I mean, it was let's not forget, it was their anniversary, right? It was their anniversary. They weren't going to spend it together because it was a Friday night, and he was just trying to do something different. Let her know that he missed her, that she cared.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know.
Yeah, that's why I say I don't mean like he's an ass in the sense that he's a bad guy. Just sort of, like you said, he went in and he didn't quite read the room.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe it could have been approached better, like having a bit of communication before she went out to work. I suppose that wouldn't be a surprise, but he could have like hinted at sort of what would you do if I surprised you at work one day?
Yeah. Because I mean, it's been a while, 5 years, you know.
Yeah. But no, she was definitely a bit of an asshole, especially with the response.
Yeah, with the response, the way she treated him, totally. That was a little much. That actually definitely kicked her into asshole. That was an asshole response. It wasn't very caring. It wasn't very respectful. It wasn't, you know, giving it just, let's just say it didn't give him any grace whatsoever for him even just showing up there, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you very much, Autistic Shill. Autistic Shill is sending. I'm not used to these, but I'm gonna have to put it up. Thank you for the super chat there, for Claire's Laser Fund or whatever you want. I shall. You know what I'm gonna do, Shill? I'm gonna put this one. We're gonna put this one over in the potato fund because the laser fund is full already. You know, I'm full. I'm actually with the last super chats can actually take care of 2 of those. So I'll go to be honest and tell you I'll put it in the potato fund for you. There you go. Yes, student, I agree. As per usual, communication problem, definitely. Yeah, but actually, I don't think it was one he started. I don't think he was. I think he might have been naive in her reaction, like in what to expect, but I don't think he communicated inappropriately because on his end, he got highly insulted about what happened there. He did not make a scene. He finished his drink. He paid. He went home. He didn't even approach her as soon as she walked in the door. When, like, you know, I don't know, in relationships, this has happened to me before. Something happens and then you separate and then you walk back into the door at the house, and the first thing is just like a boom, they hit you with it, like, you know. And I know it's been my experience talking to my brothers and some of my friends that women have a tendency to do that with men when as soon as they walk in the door, like hit you with it. Well, he didn't. He just let it go until the morning, you know. And then they kind of talked about it, and she still wasn't given any grace, that really showed me a problem there, you know, that, yeah, you know, but he was trying to be decent about it. Hey, Aaron. Oh, Aaron, are you cursing out YouTube as soon as you got here? Like, I don't know. Welcome, Jacob. And welcome, Jacob. Okay. Let's see. I'm just want to make sure there's no one. All right. Student says she definitely needed to explain why he shouldn't be there in kind word. Like, yeah, I think so. I really do. Hey, Grace. Nice to see you also, ma'am. All right. And Charlie, are you trying to mod the mod with his language? That's kind of cool. All right. Okay. I know. Yes. You know what, Aaron? That's kind of a nice way to say it. Like, that's pretty cool. A goddamn orgy of idiocy. Pour the Reddit standards. It is. And when I tell you, you missed it because you weren't here in the beginning, Aaron, this particular one I just read, they took it down within hours. It started like, I think they were accusing the girlfriends of all kinds of stuff, and there was all this heated stuff going back and forth, but it wasn't like, they weren't being extremely rude, but there was just so much traffic immediately on it. They had to take it down because they couldn't keep up with it, you know, and which I found interesting. Although it seems pretty benign, doesn't it, Dave? I can't believe that people went off about this one. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, it's not like, you know, nobody took the baby, you know, nobody kicked the puppy. Like, I don't know.
It's not like he walked in and sort of sat on some guy's knee or anything like that.
Yeah, it was like nothing really out there about it. But it really blew up over there, so it was kind of interesting because it hit my I get like the AITA filtered, and they take the hottest trends and they'll like email it over to me, because I'm keeping my eye on
Yeah.
it. And by the time I got the email, and I check it a couple of times a day, I went back to look and it was already deleted. Like within hours, it was gone. It was already taken down. And it said that it wasn't really anything that happened.
Yeah. I mean, considering that's Reddit as well, that shows you how busy it must have been.
Yeah, because they've got more than one mod for sure.
Yeah.
Hello, Matt. Thanks for making my stalking much easier by showing up yourself. That is lovely. That's lovely. They're not going to believe you now for the TRO because you came here. So I don't know. I guess we're going to have to avoid that. But there you go. Yeah. I hope you're having a good day. All right. So on this one, all right. One more comment from student because I actually have to mention this because I say this all the time. Best relationship advice ever. Never sleep on an argument. Basic relationship rule. I have that rule. We don't go to bed mad. We don't fight. We may come to a agree to disagree argument before we go to bed, but we're not going to not address it. I don't like passive aggressive, and I can't really do that. I can't like ignore the elephant in the room. So I never go to sleep. Never go to sleep mad. Okay. We either come to, it's like, doesn't mean we have to agree or solve it, but we have to come to that calm, passive place where we know we have a time and a place that we're going to address it and that both parties feel heard. And then I can go to bed. But otherwise, no way.
I'm just very lucky. Me and Emma just don't really argue.
Some people are like that. Some people will, I guess it's like my exuberant style of speaking can often feel like I'm challenging things, even though I'm just talking about something or I'm just expressing an opinion. Some people might, like, I've had that in relationships before. They always like felt like I was actually weighing in on something, even when I'm not. It's just in the manner that I approach things, which is my fault. Like, I got to coach that a little bit better because I don't want people to think I'm challenging them every time I open my mouth. Especially at the rate I open my mouth. I mean, that would be terrible.
Well, they know you. They know you're kind of like that. So make allowances, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I do find that people will find that quite endearing in the beginning, and not so much after a while. Because I do admit to being annoying, absolutely annoying. Because I want to talk about everything, and sometimes there's just nothing to talk about. Quiet is nice too, and I've had to learn that being with someone in the quiet spaces is just as important as having something to say. And, that's the one thing I learned. I got a little bit older. I learned that, But I should apologize to all my the people I dated in my youth.
No, I chat a lot of shite at home as well. I'm just very lucky, and Emma just ignores me and forgives me for it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Oh, thank you, Charlie. I'm going to take that as a compliment. Thank you. Mostly because you spell my name right. I like it. Thanks. That's actually kind of sweet. Thanks. Kyle, don't worry about being behind. It will catch up to you. Believe me. If you want to just fast forward to the next story, and, that's cool too. There's always a replay. That way you can vote, if you'd like. Okay. Well, Aaron, I hope I never get to this point. I think I'm past that now, but at least I try to be. I work really hard because he says it depends on your temper. And I think he's referring to the not going to bed mad. We've had to sleep on a few to avoid throwing shit. I can see that. But at least you got to the point where you walked away and you said, okay, you've made an agreement with each other to deal with it. Oh my gosh. Hold on one second. I forgot to turn my phone on. Oh, crap.
There's always that one person.
My apologies, YouTube. That was like YouTuber 101 there.
Yeah, nobody ever calls me, so I don't have to worry about that.
Okay. All right. Is this okay? Oh, sometimes that messes with my with my sound. I know, Charlie. I never claimed to be a professional. You guys made me professional by getting me monetized. I really just wanted to stay in the shadows. But anyway, is the sound still even? Because sometimes that messes with the mic control. I want to make sure I'm not hurting anybody's ears when I came back.
You're fine on my end.
All right. I think on that, plum vodka is nice, Robsky. I kind of agree with you there. All right. Let's start. All right. Now that the person has been put away. Yes, Icarus, I'm old fashioned. That was an iPhone, kind of high end, or maybe only 1 year behind. And yes, it did have a classic phone ringtone on it because, well, why not? Like, otherwise I have to change my favorite song, every other day because I change my musical taste and favorites quite often. And I couldn't decide. So I went with the classic. Yes, it was.
Not just that. Nobody else uses it. So it's your phone ringing when you're out, when your phone's a little bit away from you.
Except for some people are like, gosh, that sounds like my grandmother's house. And I'm like, oh, great. That's exactly how I want to be perceived. But anyway, okay. All right. So, all right. Okay. my Aaron, stuffy, dude. Just like my volume's good, but my voice is overly aggressive. How do I do that? How do I do that? Opinion is not aggression, Aaron. Here we go. All right. So, let's go on to the next one. Okay. All right. Am I the asshole for telling my kid's teacher she is only allowed to call him by his full name or the nickname I wrote in his papers? This one also came up as a hot mess on the Reddit in the last couple of days. My oldest kid, who's a 6-year-old male, is starting first grade in 2 weeks. I'm excited both for him to be able to spend time with other kids and for me to have more time to focus on the other two. Last year, we had problems with his teacher calling him Alex and encouraging the other children to do it too. I told her not to, and it didn't seem to be a problem, which I was thankful for. On Wednesday, I went to one of those required orientations where we, my husband and I, met with the new teacher and learned about the curriculum. Everything was great, and at the end, she talked to everyone individually for any concerns. I brought up that she should only call my son by his full name, or Sasha, which we call him at home, and that referring to him as Alex isn't acceptable unless it's a genuine mistake, and that's not the name that was given him. So I feel it's reasonable to require. She looked confused, acting somehow offended, like I inconvenienced her by asking her to refer to my son by his name and nothing else. I wasn't being hostile. I just told her to call him what was written on his papers, either Alexander or Sasha. I didn't ask her to correct the other kids, only that she made an attempt to use the right names. My husband says I was being unreasonable and need to let go of my attachment to the name because nobody uses it where we live now, and that kids might take it as a bullying opportunity because kids can be cruel. To me, it's more important than that because it's the name I chose, and it has some cultural significance to me. So I'm not going to move on. If I wanted a son named Alex, or more likely Alexei, that's what I would have named him. So am I the asshole?
I mean, as you were reading it, I was thinking, I wonder if it's got some kind of cultural significance. Because most people wouldn't be that attached that attached to the full name. At first, I thought she meant call him like by his first name and his last name and everything. I thought, well, only an angry parent really does that. I can see sort of wanting to keep that hold of that cultural thing if you've moved from one country to another. But still, you kind of got to give it up in certain societies. They're just going to call him Alex or what have you.
This is true. And he's like 6. He's 6, so he's just coming into the school system here. I understand her wanting to keep her cultural thing. First of all, his name isn't Alex, it's Alexander. Okay.
Yeah.
And a teacher is a professional. And the paper in front of her says Alexander and or Sasha. She's actually been giving the permission by the parents to call him by a nickname that the family uses that he's familiar with, which doesn't always happen. They want to keep to the formal names, you know. Well, as a professional, I understand she wants to make it easy for the kids and everything, but I think the child needs to direct that. I think when a
Yeah.
child starts answering, you know, because otherwise she is actually telling everyone, as the professional in the room, she is the one with authority in that classroom. Every child in that classroom is going to call him Alex now, not make a choice based on what he says or his parents' wishes, but based on what the teacher says. So I think coming out of the gate, she's got to at least, especially it being asked by the parents to please just honor what the paper says.
Yeah.
She can pronounce it. I mean, it's not like it's difficult. You
No.
know, a name is identity, okay? And if that's what the child is used to, I think that they need to honor that. I think that the teacher needs to make more of an exception for cultural boundaries here and the parents' wishes. They're not going out of their way to make it that difficult. It is what's on the paper. It's not like they're saying you have to remember to call him Blue Pajamas
No,
when the
that's it.
paper says Alexander. I mean, everything that went to the school had the name Alexander on it.
It'll be on the registrar as well, you know, like they
Yeah.
do the registrar every morning. Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Mm-hmm.
I don't think she's being an asshole for asking that.
Mm-mm.
I don't think the teacher's being an asshole for not doing it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think she should be respecting the parents' wishes. I'm thinking back to like 150 years ago to when I was in school. And they always called kids by their full name.
This is it. They did, right? And I remember my mother registering me with both my names, with Claire and Marie. And everybody said it like all together, Claire Marie, like as if it was one name.
Yeah.
Because that's how it was on the register. Until one teacher, but this was young because I didn't do a lot of like grade school or anything like that. So it had to be around this age, I believe. It was either kindergarten or first grade. Asked me if I wanted to be called Claire or Claire Marie. And then everybody just called me by what I said, which was Claire. Well, until, you get older and they see you got red hair and they got all those other names for you.
Yeah.
like Yo Reds and Ginger and everything. All of a sudden I didn't have a name anymore. It was just a hair color. But she actually asked, a nice teacher asked. And I think in this case, the smart thing for this teacher to do is right out of the gate, ask the child, what are you more comfortable? Do you want to be called Alexander or is Alex okay? Then she has a reason to go back to the parents and say, we are building confidence in the child and what he's familiar with. That's our goal here at the school. I'm going to go with what he says. Then,
Yeah, that's it. The
Right.
teacher also has to kind of have a relationship with the child in order to get him to learn and listen and enjoy being in the classroom. So if he doesn't enjoy being called Alexander, it can have him at ease in the classroom.
Right. And that's why the best thing the teacher could have done is said, I will on the first day, but we are going to ask Alexander how he prefers to be spoken to in the class, because that's going to make it comfortable for him too.
Yeah.
And then just put the parents back in the, we got to put the child first mode here. We understand what you're saying. I'm not trying to take your culture away or your wish. That is his name. I understand that's his name. I'm not taking his name away. But, he has to be able to get along with all these other kids. And if that's how he wants to present himself, then fine. If he wants to present himself as Alexander to all of these children, and then that's fine. But if he likes it shortened, that's cool too,
Yeah. And I suppose in kind of Western cultures, the name Alexander always gets shortened down to Alex anyway, or Alec if you're, some people get called Alec instead of Alex. But yeah, it's just a common thing, isn't it? So it's more a clash of cultures than anyone really being an asshole.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Here's the kids coming forward. Mrs. Cassandra says, my teacher always called me Cassie. Like, no, my name is Cassandra. There's the opposite. Wanted their full name used because that was their name. Always grateful. My son would correct people who would call him by a shortened form of his name. He preferred the full form of his name even as a young child. Some kids are going to be like that. And some of them that are looking for cultural acceptance. That could be, you know, I don't know. And Turtle moves. The teacher should refer to him by his full name. The other kids, they have no control over it. That's true. And the child can actually introduce himself however he likes to them. Liam says that he had a teacher who couldn't pronounce his name and called him Lee. Instant loss of respect. Liam was not a common name back then. Wow. That yeah. I mean, it's not a. Oh wow. I was Chucky most of my youth, and I hated it. You see, it seems like asking the child is the way to go here, because we have adults here that remember this situation back then. Oh.
I've got such a common first name, and when you're like David, everybody calls you David until you hit about 14 or 15, and then it becomes Dave. So, although in Wales, I get called Davith, because that's the Welsh version of David.
Oh, and Aaron brings up a good point here. My assumption here is that it was the child probably started going by Alex to assimilate. That's why the teacher did it. I'm bothered by the assumption that it was the teacher that originated this. You know what? I think the reason that we are assuming that is because the teacher did not speak out in the conference to say that that is what the child wants to be called, and she was following the child's wishes. I think if that's what happened, she, instead of just getting annoyed, she may have talked to the parents more about the culture of the classroom and about getting along with other kids and about it being important for Alex or Alexander, however he wants to be called, to have the confidence in his name and who was addressing him. And she could have used that. So that's why we're kind of leaning that didn't happen yet, that she just automatically shortened it. And unfortunately, it does happen a lot, as I see. I have a brother with a very long Polish name, and they liked it. No one likes to call him his full name. And he, now as an adult, of course, he likes all the shortened versions and everything in school. And in school, he liked the nicknames too. He never really wanted to be called by his long name,
Yeah.
So. Yep. All right. Okay.
Just want to say hello to Josephina.
Josephina.
Yeah,
welcome.
Joe.
Yeah. Hey, Joe. Welcome. Hey, I think it's Answers and Reasons. Hey, is that Joe? Oh, that's Josephine. Yeah. Oh, okay. I'm looking for it. Like, who's this new account he's talking about? Like, see how naive. Hey, Joe, how'd you sneak in? I put a sign on the door. They weren't supposed to let you in here, dude. What's going on? No, I'm kidding. You're the only gay in the village, aren't you? Oh no, he's not. Jeez.
And the least he could have done was spell it right.
I know. Like, it's not. Come on, Joe. I got to correct your spelling instead of laughing at your joke. It's terrible. Don't do that to me. My brain can't do both at the same time, Joe. But anyway, hey, Juju, thank you for being here. Okay. This is too much. All right, so let's see. One more. Okay, here's a problem. I know. I feel for you, Autistic Shield. Shield, I love you because this is funny and not funny at the same time. So grant me grace, because she says, I do wonder if a child's name is Karen, what that would be like in school. I find it funny because I like Karens and I'm a Karen, but I'm an adult. Yes, I could see that, like if you were a child, like it might, but most children don't find the humor at that age yet in the Karen seeing the manager thing yet, not yet anyway. It's coming though. It won't be far off, The original name, Kyle, his full name is Alexander, and the teacher is referring to him as Alex. And the parents are saying, please, well, actually not both parents, just the mom is saying, please use his full name of Alexander or his known nickname of Sasha. That's it. So if that helps. But anyway. Spartacus. Can we call you Spart, or we call you what do we call you for short if your name is Spartacus Robsky? I don't know. I know. Yeah. Powell. I don't know how to say that, Liam. So full names only come out when you are in trouble. This is true. Like my full name with my middle name. That's why I didn't want that to be used in school, because that is how my aunts and my grand and my mom, whenever you were in trouble, it was Claire Marie, or like, if you have a nickname, right? Like with my brothers and all, it would be like, Michael John, David Paul, whatever. It was your second name too.
Yeah, at home I was mostly just called you little bastard.
Come here, like that's real trouble if you get go. Yeah, that was it. What? I can't imagine you were a troublemaker, Dave. But
I was till I was in my 20s.
Really? So you were that kind of troublemaker, huh? Okay.
Yeah. But I'm a much better person now.
Yeah. Well, I think we all go through a spell. I was actually rotten. I was a horrible teenager.
Yeah, same. That's why I was kicked out of school.
Mm-hmm. Were you? Okay. You see, now you're surprising me. I'm going to move on to the next one while I deal with my surprise here. I sense that there's stories to tell. We're going to have to book a session. Like we tell YouTube about Dave's stories. What do you guys think? Maybe you vote on that. You want to hear Dave's stories? We'll start a whole session. Okay. That would be something. All right. So I'm voting here, though, before we head off. I know what I'm voting. And because number one would be the operator, and that would be the mom. Okay. And number two would be the teacher, because she was the only other one who spoke in regards to the conversation going on there. You guys know all the rest, but I'm gonna actually say 3 on this, Dave. What are you gonna say? I'm gonna say they both are. I don't like either one of their attitudes about it. For one reason.
Yeah, I don't think either of them are assholes, not in the way I would consider someone an asshole, but there's some better communication that could be going on between them.
True. Which usually when there's a lack of communication or compromise falls into the asshole category,
Yeah.
Icarus, you have a point there. So before we vote, I just want to address this. It is the other teacher that actually named him in kindergarten Alex all the time. And this one said she was going to do it too. But then when talked to by the mom, she kind of like pushed back. Like she pushed back and got offended and stuff like that as to the thing. Because school hasn't started yet. You're right. He's not in the classroom with his teacher yet. And I'm not sure if they were separate teachers or the same teacher, but apparently it happened in the kindergarten class that they started calling him by that name. So that's a good, valid point. So who actually brought that up? Was it the child himself or the teacher? I mean, that's like, we need more information there. But that's why I say they both are, because here's my problem with it. Neither one asked the child, mom or teacher. At 6 years old, I'm sorry, everybody thinks that's young, but I think it's old enough to know what you want to be called. It's your name. It's your identity you're working on. You're now going into the first place, the most important place in your life, where you're going to learn your own identity amongst your peers, without your parents there, under the guidance of the teacher, yes. But everybody knows school is just like a swim. It's where you get in there with all the other fish. You're going into the big pond now, not just the little microorganism of your home, where everything is more settled and secure. Well, you're going out there and having your own identity by your name. It starts with that. It's important. And so I think they both failed in my eyes, and they are assholes for not acknowledging the child's wishes first.
Yeah.
They're supposed to be on the team of let's grow a good, solid human here. And they were more worried about, mom's more worried about her desire to have she clearly expressed it was her desire to have cultural awareness and have that name honored because, quote unquote, that's the name she chose, right? And she's putting a lot of weight on her wishes. And the teacher also is offended by, wait, I can call him what I want. Like, what are you going to tell me what to do? Kind of taking a step back, like, excuse me. there, and also not coming forward with the child's wishes. And they are both supposed to be on Team Child. So yeah, I'm going
Yeah.
to be, this is the only show I actually get to be judgmental. I'm going to be judgmental and say, yep, both assholes. Yep, they are. They failed. They failed in my opinion there. So.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, I'll go with that. Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree.
Oh, yeah, definitely. All right. So it looks like I'm going to go back. Some people have said 3. I don't see a lot of numbers. Did you guys vote? All right. 3 and porn, 3 and all the numbers. Yeah, but just based on the conversation, it looks like most people were thinking the child needed to be listened to based on your own stories of when you were in school, everybody in the chat. Kyle's going to vote 69, and you can reach him at 1855 Big Dino. Lovely, Kyle. Thanks for following. Thanks for playing. Okay. Well, it looks like 3. It looks like they're all agreeing it was probably a 3. All right. You ready for another one, Dave?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. Oh, another relationship drama. Here we go. Okay. All right. Am I the asshole for not warning my old friend about my insane ex? I, a 23-year-old female, dated this guy named John, who's the 26-year-old male, for almost 2 years. We broke up a year ago because he was one of the worst people I have ever met in my life. I will not go into detail, but let's just say that he once told me, and I quote, Onision isn't that bad.
Yeah,
Wow.
that sums it all up. Yeah.
Okay. I bravely carry on with the rest of the Reddit. Okay. Wow. I also had this friend named Emily, who's a 23-year-old female that I knew since high school. We were very close friends, but got separated when we went to college, but still kept in touch and met occasionally. Emily knew about John's existence ever since we got together. John is from another country and doesn't speak my and Emily's native language, so he and I spoke in English all the time. After a year of being with John, Emily reached out to me and asked if we could all meet up and do stuff together so she could practice her English. I said yes, and I told John about it, which he also agreed to do. Oh, that sounds like a nice thing. From that point on, John and Emily would meet 4 times a month and just hang out. This went on for at least 3 months, and it was fun. Until one day, Emily decided that she hated both me and John. She picked a fight with us about something that I don't remember and never spoke to us again. I was really sad that I lost my best friend, but John didn't really seem to care. I eventually got over it and moved on. 2 months after that, John and I broke up, and he phoned and messaged me nonstop. He kept telling me that something very bad happened to him and he needed my help. I told him that I didn't care and ignored him. Eventually, I got curious as to what happened. So I checked his Instagram account and I saw Emily posting cute little comments under his posts. The comments started a week after we broke up. I was really taken aback, and it hit me that it was a possibility that he might have been cheating on me behind my back. I was furious for the next couple of months, but I got over it eventually. This was all a year ago. Now, a few days ago, I got a message from Emily saying that her and I needed to talk. I messaged back stating that I was not interested, and she messaged back, "Did you know me and John got together after you broke up?" And I replied, "Yeah, I guess so. I saw your comments under his post." A few seconds after I sent that message, I got a call from her. I answered, and she blew up at me saying, "If you knew we were dating, why didn't you warn me about him?" I asked her what she was talking about, and she said, "You dated him longer than I have, so you must have known how horrible he was. Why didn't you warn me? I would have warned you." Oh. I replied by saying that she was the one who cut contact with me, and I wasn't obligated to help her. She called me rude names and said that I was the reason she wasted all her time and that she would have 100% warned me. I bid her goodbye and I hung up the phone. She surprisingly didn't call me back. I told my parents about everything and they are on my side, but I can't help but feel guilty. John is a terrible person, and I would have wanted to be warned if I was in her place, but it was none of my business. So, am I the asshole? The age-old question there. Yeah. I know, right? That one hurts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Uh-huh.
kind of conflicted on this one, but I lean towards no
Mhm.
because the other one had already cut ties with her completely. She must
Mhm.
have known what he was like at least a little bit from hanging around them.
Exactly. Isn't she the one that cut ties with them? Like there must have been a reason, you know? Like
Yeah. And if she'd have jumped in and said, "Oh, he's a bit of a prick," it would have come across as a jealous ex.
right, who's gonna believe you? That's the other thing.
Yeah.
You're gonna look like you got an agenda or
Yeah,
something.
yeah, that's it. So I lean not towards her not being an asshole. I mean, if he's that big of a fan of Onision, maybe he should wear a T-shirt warning other people. But
It should be a requirement. I think so.
yeah, you should go knocking on people's doors where he lives. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Saying
Mhm.
I'm a fan of Onision. But
Mm.
I don't see her being an asshole. Not in this
Yep.
case.
Mhm. Listen. Nope, nope, nope. That's what we got right off the bat. Nope, not the asshole. A bunch of oh my gods. Yes. You broke the code. Yes, she went out with an ex of a friend. That's a big one. Okay, first, your boyfriend is a mag. Yep. Okay. Yes, I agree, Turtle. Okay, never date a friend's ex. Why didn't I warn you? Because fuck you. That's why. Well, that's a little petty, but I hear you, Aaron. I hear you. It's
Yeah.
like she did actually cut ties. It's like, okay, she's the one who ran away from both of them as a couple, and didn't have anything. And then she dates him, and now all of a sudden it's the ex's fault. Like, I don't know. Hmm. Liam, stupid girl, got what she wanted and got what she deserved. Yes, in a way, yeah. Like, if she really wanted to know what he was like, she knows they were together for 4 years. Why didn't she ask? Why didn't she
Yeah.
call her? Why didn't she say, "Hey, we cut ties, but oh, by the way, I met up with so and we're gonna date," And I'm not
Yeah.
asking you for permission. I'm just saying, hey,
What's he
just
like?
just letting
Yeah.
you know what's he like or anything. And Sandy says, "Oh, grow up. Sorry." I hear you. Totally. It totally. That girl's and yep, that bird's a nutter. You're talking about this the second one, right? I can't even remember her name now. But yeah. Hmm. I suspect the girlfriend moved in before the break. You know what? I think that first of all, she disappeared from the couple's life with no warning or anything, and he didn't seem to be that upset about it. Maybe he said something to her. Maybe he pulled in an Onision and said something, fresh or rude or I don't know.
Yeah.
He seems to think that people on the edge are cool. So maybe he took it to the edge and said something inappropriate. I don't know, but she disappeared, pretty quickly. And he didn't seem upset about it. Student says she made her own bed. She said, they broke up with you. Yes, they did. She broke up with the guy. The friend broke up with her prior to that. You're free of all obligations. True. Because this is someone who broke contact with you and you don't even know for sure is together with your ex. Why? Exactly. Why would you warn them? Like, exactly. I mean, obviously, they're not interested in your opinion if they left your circle.
Yeah. I mean, she might not have even known.
True. Original poster is not the asshole. I'm kind of leaning towards you there, Robski. I'm kind of feeling this one. Yeah. She walked and then looked and then took up with the ex. Not my monkey, not my circus. Exactly, student. Why would she want to get involved? She's free and clear of both of them. She's free of a friend who didn't have enough respect or honor their relationship enough to explain to her why she was uncomfortable being around with them anymore. There was not an adult conversation that happened. There was no conversation that happened. Oh, she just took off. Then she mysteriously ends up with the ex after the fact. Okay. And now she's blaming everything. I mean, it just sounds very childish. It just sounds like somebody who can't take accountability for anything that's going on in their life, looking for a scapegoat. And of course, your boyfriend's ex is always the perfect scapegoat, aren't they?
Yeah.
So there you go. Yeah, she was damned if she didn't, damned if she didn't, you know. But that girl broke girl code, so let the beast suffer. Yeah, she did. But as far I'm gonna weigh in. I'm sticking my toes in the water here, and I'm gonna weigh in on girl code here. Forgive me, Dave. This might get a little uncomfortable. But being a girl, or aka a woman, let me just say this about girl code. If your heart wants what your heart wants. Attraction is attraction. And I may get attracted to one of your exes. Yes, it could happen. But what I won't do is date them behind your back. What I won't do is not approach you first to see how you're going to feel about it first, to see if it's worth it in the long run. And I'm going to give value on the relationships all around me. What I'm going to do is say, you can't really put no code on me. It's really not fair because, for whatever reason, you and so didn't work out. Maybe me and so might be the hit of the century. And why would you want to limit that? I'm not talking about like best friends and immediate stuff or anything like that. But what I am saying is you can't really apply, girl code. Like what I would say is have the respect of a conversation. Make girl code that. Same thing with bro code. I know guys have the same thing about bro. Don't do this with exes. Don't do that. Like let's keep it to like, of course, be respectful, but have the conversations, because it's hard enough to find someone in this world. If you find someone that you actually connect with on any level, even friendships turn into other things, and it may have been an ex-friend's boyfriend, that's my friend, that it may have turned to something else, but I'm going to be respectful about it. But I don't think I broke a code, by understanding that every individual's relationship is different, and the one that you had with them might be different than the one I had. Well, yeah. That's what I think about girl code. Like, yeah. And I think the same thing goes with boy code. I think it's just a matter of respect and conversation. I am going to give it the delicate reserved grace that it needs, because it is a bit of a quagmire. So it's really got to be worth it. I'm not going to date him just because he's cute. I'm not going to date him just because he's there and we're going to a concert. Not if it's going to annoy you. There would have to really be something there. But I'm definitely going to have a conversation and find out where people are about it, But yeah, girl code blood sport. I know, Sean, it gets crazy. I've had girlfriend. I knew a friend. I won't even call her a girlfriend because it was crazy. Like way back, that if there was anybody she was even interested in or looked at or thought was cute, you better not even say their name. And I thought that was the most ridiculous thing. And like I was a bad teenager, I guess you could say, or even as a young adult. I guess that was throwing the gauntlet down to me. I wasn't having it. Like, excuse me, you think he's cute, so I can't talk to him? Yo, hello, can I have your number? Let's talk. Like, it's yeah. I took it as a challenge in some spaces, but hey, mocking. No. When you show up here, there's no TRO. I've explained this to my other stalker, Matt, that if you show up here, the TRO does not apply. You have voided it. It doesn't exist anymore. You came to me. You can't claim that anymore. Yeah. So there you go. You see all these people calling me stalkers, but you see them coming here, Dave, like, what's that? What's that? Like, what's that? It's like, I don't know. But anyway, bird code, yes. Oh, TRO is the bird code. Yes, TRO is bird code. True. That, I'll go with you with that one, Maki. I will. I'll give you that. Juju says, in college, her roommate had a crush on a guy. She then got a boyfriend, and I proceeded to date the crush. Did that break code? No, it did not. Well, that's like the girl who said, oh, I think that one's cute. You can't go out with them. I'm like, what? Don't talk to him? Like, what? Crazy. Yeah, no. No, I think in adult relationships, you want everyone to be happy. Your friends,
Yeah.
you want your friends to find good relationships. And you know what? I am that sappy, rose-colored glasses. Doesn't matter if they stabbed me in the back or how bad it ended. I honor what the relationship was in the beginning and what I found that what bonded me to this person, like what I liked about them. I put more reverence on that. And I still want them to be happy. Even the lying, cheating son of a bitch ones. you know, it is actually my goal that they find somebody that turns their shit around, and makes them, value relationships a little bit more. Uh, you know, yeah, I'm that sappy person, but yeah, but that's the way I want it. That's the way I want them to think of me also, that they just want me to be happy, whether it worked out or not, you know, and yeah. Yep, good. I'm glad, Juju. You see, you had a great relationship. And if you didn't date him or you didn't get together with him just because somebody else had a crush on him, and I'm not saying don't honor existing relationships, whatever. If you think somebody's really hot and you get along with them, but they're in a relationship, don't do that. Okay?
Yeah.
Don't do that. I don't care how strongly you feel about. Do not let that other relationship play out. Wait for the timing, wait for the opportunity. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be, but do not meddle in the affairs of others. Please. That's just wrong. That just makes you super asshole. But yeah, life is too short to say just because somebody was there first, there's not anything there for you.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Yeah, so I'm not so for girl and God code. Guy code. I am all for girl and bro respect. I'm all for that. But maybe it's that rule breaker in me. Just the word code, and I just want to break it.
Yeah.
It's just like code. What's the code? No. Anyway. Hey, Mr. Valiant, welcome. Buenos dias. Mm-hmm. Okay. I like when they start talking to each other in foreign languages here. Now I'm going to have to translate my chat later. This is cool. Yeah. Okay. All right. So where are you on this one, Dave? I think you're with the same. Did we already? Or am I repeating myself? I'm sorry if I am.
Yeah, I don't think she's an asshole at all.
I don't think she's an asshole. I think she actually handled it well.
Yeah, I kind of think the other woman's an asshole for trying to put all the blame on her.
Mm-hmm. I think I think she's an entitled asshole, actually, the other one. I think she's putting entitlement here on the importance of herself. She left the friendship and then trying to put behavioralistic things and requirements on a person she's not even involved with anymore. That's ridiculous to me. I mean, she's a little full of herself. She needs to grow up a bit. Yeah, she's pretty entitled. So I would definitely say too. It looks like
sounds like a case of blaming somebody else for your own mistakes.
Well, you cheat. Doesn't that run? There's just a shortage on accountability in general with things like that. And it's a shame too, because every relationship is an opportunity to grow, whether it succeeds or fails, starts or ends. It is all about growth and, finding the commonality between the two of you and going forward, and there's much opportunity there to grow, but this one is actually going backwards with this kind of attitude. It's really not cool. So, yep, looks like everybody agrees. So, now we're a little over the hour. Do you still have any time? I know it's late over there. Do you want to go a little further, or are you ready to?
I should probably head off because I've got to move everything downstairs so Emma can work in the room tomorrow.
I want to thank you for being here, and it was
thank you. It's been a
pleasant time. So come back again for this or anything else. I really had a good time, and I'm glad that you did. It sounds like you did. So
I did. Yeah, thank you for having me on. I had a really good time. And I'll come up with a topic for us to discuss on one of the avatar chats or something.
I would love that, and I would absolutely love that, because there's like so many conversations to be had about so many different topics that really really would like to address. So anything you'd like, Dave, go hit me up. And on that, everybody in the chat, don't forget to check out Answers and Reasons. Do you have anything coming up? I mean, I know you just put out some great shorts for yourself out there, some 20-30 minute long videos on the chat on particular subjects.
They were on both my channel and on the Answers and Reason channel, so everybody just go to the Answers and Reason channel to find them if that's easier. And Joe has a bunch of great stuff on there as well.
Joe's shorts have been quite entertaining. But Joe, I need streams, guys. I need my raves. I miss that little bit of party. I do. You got me hooked on that little bit of party we had before the serious conversations, and it was a great way to rewind. But I do have them all on playback, Joe, just so you know. I do. I have them all on the playlist, so I'm still celebrating with you all. But I look forward to you guys doing. I will link your channel also. I do have the Answer and the Reason channel down there, along with your Twitter down below in the description. But I will be listing Dave's other channel there too. But thank you again, Dave. Good luck moving stuff, and I hope to see you back here soon. If not, I'll see you over on your side in the chat.
Nice one.
Good
night, Claire.
Good night. And on that, everybody, have a great night. And we'll see you. I've got stuff planned for the weekend, but I'm not telling you what it is yet. I will be over there tomorrow. Of course, on the shills, there is the Operator Starsky. For those of you interested in the war in Ukraine, there'll be the update from Operator Starsky, and I'll be over there working the chat. And then more to come on the weekend. Of course, there'll be part 2 of incel coverage on the shills with Amy with Uncalled For. And I'm enjoying that subject. And hopefully some of you will come over and continue that conversation with us, because damn, that was a hot mess and a lot of fun. And on that, have a good night. There'll be other surprise stuff coming up. I'm just not telling you about it right now. But got some streams. All right. Have a good night, Dave. Good luck. And thank you so much again. All right.
Thank you. Bye.
Try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me.
Looking for change, looking for pain. Pulling a mob, pushing a train. I'll never stop, stick to a lane. Pick up the pieces and go rearrange. I'll be the best above all the rest, put me to the test. Expect nothing less, you check as I'm chess, what's happening next, yeah.
He got the venom, a tangible weapon, no coming in second. This life is a lesson, he got a new engine from pain, it's a blessing. New focus, no guessing, just bold and obsession. All in his possession, you got their attention. I leave an impression and take your redemption. Just kill, no discretion, your mind is a weapon. 11-11, it's time for progression,
You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. People like sheep move feet, hurt it easy. You don't wanna be fast asleep when they scheming. Better stand tall, ready for a fight, believe me. When they try the chains, you can say no, free me.
So he's been looking for somebody who could save him, instead of searching inside for what they gave him. A strong will, strong mind causes mayhem. We could change the world, change times, rearrange them. Staying on pace, running the race. Life is a chase, I don't want a place, I wanna be first. Work till it hurts, dehydrated thirst till I'm in a hearse. High ambitions in the right mind can take you so far. It's like you lived a few lifetimes. Take off, I'ma break off from the weak minds. They can stay soft, you can change lives, you create thoughts. Never waste time, you got one shot, you got one life. Better pop off, what do you like? Make a dream job, no 9-5, no mean boss. Just my life and free thoughts.
You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. People like sheep move feet, hurt it easy. You don't wanna be fast fast asleep, only scheming. Better stand tall, ready for a fight, believe me. And when they try to change, you can say no, free me.